Let's get it poppin', man, I'm simply ball dropping. Let's get it poppin', man, I'm simply ball dropping. You must love us cause you can't stop watching. You must love us cause you can't stop watching. Let's get it poppin', man, I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve. Boy, it's James IV. That's Roman numeral 4 off the top with the intro. What up, K-Sap? No cap, that's the big bro. You know the ladies hold it down for the team. We be the hottest on this YouTube screens. We got sports, media, news, that round table talk. Them other parts ain't got the same sauce. Now, hit us in the chat, but no haters allowed. Send you to the block party, what you gotta say now? We on live, hit us up and subscribe. If you like it to share, show love instead of staring. Man behind the mic, numbers don't lie. Send me a super chat to all that may apply. Ain't no party like an SBD party. Let's get the show started, pull up, everybody. Let's get it poppin', man, I'm simply ball dropping. Let's get it poppin', man, I'm simply ball dropping. You must love us cause you can't stop watching. You must love us cause you can't stop watching.
Thanks for listening. Yes. You know who it is. It's your favorite host, the man behind the mic of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, K-Sap. What's up? Y'all know what it is. It's Monday. It's the day after the debacle. Man, we got some interesting news, man, we need to talk about, man, because I don't know if anybody noticed it. I don't know if anybody knew or if anybody seen the post-game press conference with Dillon Gabriel yesterday after the game. It looks like this young man is checked out. Look like he knows that his time is past. Dillon Gabriel knows something we don't know. But we're going to talk about it all here. But yeah, I see y'all starting to filter in. I see my moderators coming in the building. I see my members coming in the building tonight. You know, it's going to be members only chat. If you're not a member of the channel, you might want to join the members only so you can chat on the live chat with us. Just hit the join button so you can go ahead and get your chat in here. Tonight it's about the members tonight. Everybody that's supporting the channel. So we got the members only chat tonight. So if you're not a member of the channel and you're listening to the show, just go ahead and join. Become a member so you can engage with us and you can get your point across. You can hit the phone lines. You can join the panel. But sit back and listen. But just join. Join the channel. Become a member so you can have all access to all live videos that we do, all videos that we produce. And you can be a part of the community and you can interact with us and you can talk to us nicely in the chat. And also you can talk nicely to us on the phone. But yeah, with that being said, appreciate everybody's love and support. I'll give the live a chance to catch up to people. But we got 48 people in here watching already. Please drop a like on the video. Like I said, for the first 30 minutes, we doing members only chat. So you have to join the channel and then we'll open it up to the public. But yeah, we got to talk about it, man. Y'all know what y'all here for. And y'all know what we do. So we're going to talk about it. Has Dillon Gabriel's time passed in Cleveland? Y'all guys let me know. Because from what I've seen in the post-game press conference, from what I've seen of Dillon Gabriel, from what I've seen of his reaction, and all the questions that Mary Kay Cabot asked him, looked like he was dejected. It looked like, he know that his time is limited. Like he's on borrowed time. But I'll let y'all guys listen to the post-game press conference that Dillon Gabriel had yesterday after the loss to the New York Jets, 27-20. And I want y'all guys to make y'all's assumption if Dillon Gabriel seems dejected, if he seems checked out. Y'all let me know. Craig Tatum said, DG has expired like a carton of milk in your fridge. What's up, Nate? I see you in the building. KD, one of my lovely mods in the building. ADP Art Creation is in the building. Said he know he's trash. But yeah, I think Dillon Gabriel know he has underperformed, and he's basically said it in so many words after the game yesterday. What's up, Shea Boost? Shea Boost in the building. Yes, I believe it's absolutely bad, but Kevin Stefanski won't pull the trigger. Yeah, that's the problem. He won't pull the trigger. But guys, for those that didn't hear Dillon Gabriel's press conference yesterday on certain questions that was asked, I want y'all to take a listen, and y'all let me know if y'all come to the realization like I have come in listening to Dillon Gabriel. He seems like he's dejected. Seems like he's a little down on himself and he knows he's underperformed. But I want y'all to take a listen to what Dillon Gabriel had to say. Pay attention to what Dillon Gabriel had to say.
He's sticking with you going forward. Not that he shouldn't. It's just that at 2-7, sometimes things change.
Yep.
But he's sticking with you. How do you feel about the opportunity to build on, what you did today and move forward?
Yeah, when things aren't going well, there's always going to be change. That's part of it. If you keep doing the same thing and don't change anything, then it's insanity. But I feel like at times there's things that went well and we sustained and executed, and then in certain moments we didn't execute, and that starts with me. But yeah, it's always frustrating when it's not going the way you want it to, and you put in the work and time. But in crucial moments, you got to have it and execute, and we didn't.
Still in the 4th and 1 with about 10 minutes left. It looks like the guy came right off the edge. Where did you want to go with that one, and what did you end up seeing?
Yeah, I'm hot, and we're in our 5-man pro, and got to create something there. And I was in between, knowing that it was 4th and 1, getting outside or getting vertical, and there was a chance that I could have and slipped through, but didn't. But that's why I stayed on that side when I was hot.
What about getting sacked in the game 6 times? What could you have done differently to avoid some of that, or what was going on there? Basically?
Yeah, I don't want to take those. Want to be able to dish it and find a safe place to dish it. But in those moments too, can't take sacks.
Dillon, it seemed like Tommy drew up some stuff for you, sort of like getting out of the pocket, rolling out a little bit. Just what do you think for you? Like, is that something that you think is part of your game where you can sort of thrive? Like, what do you see on those plays that you think makes them effective plays for you?
I think for anyone, it's versatility, and you want to have that. You want to move launch points. You want to keep the defense off balance. It helps the run. It helps the O-line. It helps me. It helps everyone involved. And I think the more versatile you are, it helps. But, I think that in general helped us throughout the day.
Now, you heard what Dillon Gabriel had to say. Now, what was key, he started out saying, when you're not doing so good and doing the same thing over and over, change is going to come. So he is sitting here bracing for the change. Because like I said, in the organization, things that happen behind closed doors, it stays in-house. And I think Dillon Gabriel, in this case, he's insinuating that he knows change is about to happen. So even though Kevin Stefanski said that Dillon Gabriel is the starting quarterback going into next week's matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, but it's the ebb and flows of the NFL. Things can change. Look how quickly things changed for the New York Giants and Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll got fired. So I agree, Shea Boost. I think he realizes he has underperformed. And see, now it's a lot of pressure. It's pressure on Dillon Gabriel because I know he hears the outside noise. I know he's heard some of the people in the Cleveland media give up on him that can't back him the way they was backing him from the start. He hears the praises for Shedeur Sanders, wanting Shedeur Sanders to get a chance. He hears that from his own fans. He hears that from the Cleveland fans. So I think he just sounds very dejected, like he's almost checked out. Like, yeah, I know my time is coming to an end, and they're about to make a change. Change is coming. We saw with Paul DeBodesta as he got moved out the door, but he actually was at the game yesterday. So as a head coach in Kevin Stefanski, I think Kevin Stefanski has set Dillon up to fail as well. Because it's a lot of pressure on Dillon, and then to try to be an scapegoat, to remove yourself from the equation, to give the offensive play calling to Tommy Rees, it didn't do no better because Dillon knows his performance over the 5-game stretch that we've seen him has not been up to par. And that's what's alarming. And he just sound like he's down on himself, man. And some people in the Cleveland media and some of the Cleveland chat rooms, they basically feel sorry for Dillon Gabriel because now it's a lot of pressure on him. Now you got them footsteps of Shedeur Sanders right on your heels. Because sometimes, man, this could be your first and only shot at proving to an organization that you belong and that you are an NFL ready type of quarterback. So all the narratives out there about the reason why Shedeur Sanders is not playing, he's not ready, he don't know the offense. Nah, you got to look at it like this. Kevin Stefanski, you're not ready. You're not ready to take on the coaching responsibility to put your players in a position to win, because it seems like every week you say the same thing. You got to do evaluation to put our guys in a better position to win. And the questions asked of you yesterday after the game was basically telling me that you're basically staying with Dillon Gabriel and you're not putting people in a position to win. I mean, Kevin Stefanski, just basically said some things yesterday, like right after the loss, like he has to look at everything in a nutshell, right? But I want y'all to listen to Kevin Stefanski yesterday after his loss to the Jets and what he said in the post-game press conference. Let's take a listen to what he said.
Kevin, it says Dillon, did you see any improvement from what you saw over the first 4 games from him? Where did you kind of feel like
I think it's I have to always, to give you a better evaluation, have to look at it. But I know there's plays that he's going to want back. I thought he made some plays with his feet also in this ball game, but can always improve.
What is 3 minutes left? They have it. You don't call timeout right away. Just take us through what you're thinking there. Obviously, the penalty sunk you, but what were you thinking with that sequence there?
Yeah, obviously you're thinking about when to call those things, and depending on, I think they got a first down on the first play there. You're going to stop it to try and get it back, and again, all things that it's easy to look at the end of that ball game, and we will, and we'll certainly be transparent with each other. But it's a 60-minute football game, and we got to do our job for 60 minutes.
Was getting Jerry involved an emphasis this week?
Yes, and it should be an emphasis every week, really.
How about just the fact that you guys gave up 6 sacks, 4 by Will McDonald? What kind of was the situation there?
Again, probably premature to say anything until I look at it, Mary Kay, but it's very typically a combination of things, whether it's offensive line, protection plan, getting open, all those things.
Are there times where you think like Dillon just isn't seeing it as quickly, and especially when you talk about some of those sacks that were taken, you think he's like seeing the field quickly and clearly?
Yeah, not fair until I look at it, Daniel, but it's very easy to put sacks just right on the offensive line. We got to look at all of it and find ways to work together in those areas.
Kevin, what do you feel like is an adequate sample size to properly evaluate a quarterback, especially a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, it's hard for me to speculate, but every single outing that our guys get, we're going to look at it and try and learn from it.
With you guys, losing this game and kind of now being behind the 8 ball, I mean, do you stick with Dillon Gabriel after this game, or do you think about making a change?
Yeah, we're going to stick with Dillon. Obviously, this is a young players that you're always trying to get one game better and those type of things, but we have to play better as an offense. We have to coach better, all the above.
Now, you guys heard what Kevin Stefanski had to say. Now, what pisses me off is him stating he has to look at film to assess Dillon's play. You saw it firsthand. You watched it live. You seen what Dillon Gabriel was doing. Like, outside of the 2 touchdowns, but after that, some of his throws, like, what was Dillon doing? We don't even have to run the tape on some of the throws Dillon was making because it's all out there in the internet. People clowning the videos of Dillon Gabriel throwing the ball at Jerry Jeudy's feet, throwing the ball into the stands, overshooting Tillman in the end zone. I don't have to show that stuff because you guys seen it firsthand. We talked about it yesterday right after the game on the live. And I agree with you, Craig. He's looking for an scapegoat. Also, like Shedeur said, forcing him to play DG. Like, it's almost to a point where you come into a instant decision right after the game by saying, yes, we're going to stick with Dillon. But y'all see what Kevin Stefanski did? Kevin Stefanski said, yes, we're sticking with Dillon Gabriel. He wants to mention Dillon's name. But when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, he won't mention his name. They'll ask him a question like they did when I gave him his props for saying that he's going to be quarterback 2. When Mary Kay said, is Shedeur going to be quarterback 2? All he said was, yes, he's going to be quarterback. He's going to be quarterback 2. He's the backup quarterback. Put some respect on his name. Yeah, I agree with that, Shea Boost. I've said, sometimes you're forced to play him, but Kevin Stefanski in this situation is going down with the ship. But Dillon Gabriel, I mean, he sees the writing on the wall, guys. We just got to be honest, man. And it's a lot of pressure, man. It's a lot of pressure that this kid is feeling now because 5 games, I guess Kevin Stefanski keeps on saying that's not a big enough sample size to judge Dillon Gabriel. That's not a big enough sample size to judge him. But we've seen the Cleveland media started out, they was backing Dillon Gabriel. But all of a sudden, it seems like that mob has turned their back on him as well. You can't make no more excuses for him. It is not to knock Dillon Gabriel. It's just to say that Dillon Gabriel probably is the one that's not ready. Dillon Gabriel is probably the one that needs a whole nother year under his belt to prepare himself. Because Kevin Stefanski basically told us Dillon came in prepared. But from the way Dillon looks, he's not prepared to me. So for you to keep saying that, oh, Shedeur Sanders is not ready, he's not ready to go, he don't know an NFL playbook, it's a lot of deflection, guys. Like, how many does it take when he's gotten worse? That's what I'm saying. I could see if we seen some things better from Dillon Gabriel each time he went out on the field. We don't see that. We don't see Dillon Gabriel getting even any better. Like, Dillon Gabriel makes at least 4, 5 to 6 bad throws a game. But what I want people to understand is the second half of the game, when it's winning time, what did that offense do? Now, I heard a lot of people blaming it on the special teams, blaming it on the defense for the encroachment on that last drive of the Jets and the holding penalty in the secondary. But when your offense did not move the ball the whole second half and you only generated 3 points, that's not a winning formula. That's not a winning formula at all. Myles Garrett talked about that. Myles Garrett was frustrated about that. Myles Garrett, he basically came out and said that it's frustrating to lose each week the same way but differently. And when they asked Myles Garrett about the quarterback situation, he said, that's not my job. My job is to focus on the defense. So basically, he's trying to let Kevin Stefanski know, man, come on, man, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. And if change ain't going to come, then what is it? All we want to do is see Shedeur Sanders play when the games are meaningful. Because you got these teams that are battling out, they're trying to get into the playoffs and playoff positioning. Shedeur Sanders can spoil somebody's year. He can spoil somebody's year. If he comes in and starts winning, he can spoil somebody's chance of getting in the playoffs. But just don't put Shedeur Sanders in the game when it's nothing to play for, because then if he goes in there and performs, you know what the narrative is going to be? Well, the teams that he's playing, they didn't play their starters because of the fact that they already are set in their playoff seedings, so they're resting players. I don't want to hear that. That's why it's time to see Shedeur right now. I think Dillon Gabriel knows that Shedeur Sanders is the better quarterback. He knows that. But it's something about this offense that just ain't right now. I don't care who's calling the plays, Kevin Stefanski or Tommy Rees, because we got the same results. And I know offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. And like I've always told you, Cleveland Browns got a stout defense. But when the defense is on the field for so long, you know, they only can do so much. But the offense got to contribute. The offense got to move the ball down the field. And when you constantly going 3 and out, and you're not keeping drives alive and eating up the clock, your defense gets worn down. The defense is worn down. So, I mean, in this situation, like I said, I think Dillon Gabriel knows. I think he knows that the clock is ticking. As a quarterback, you got to have that clock in your head as well, and the awareness to prevent them sacks. And Dillon took 6 sacks yesterday, but nobody wants to talk about that. They want to talk about how bad the special teams played, how bad the defense didn't help the offense out, because on the last drive when they had a chance, potentially have a chance to get the ball back and go down and score a game tying touchdown with the field goal, or if they scored and went for the 2-point conversion for the win, they're blaming the defense. Like I said, the defense, they got tired out there. June Brown says this season is over for Cleveland Browns, so let Dillon play. Maybe at the end of it, will fire Kevin Stefanski and waive Dillon Gabriel. I mean, sometimes, June, that might be wishful thinking, but that's a good observation. I understand that you say the season is over because now you're in a deep hole. You're 2-8, and you just lost to the worst team in the NFL, and that is the New York Jets. Then you beat the other worst team in the league in the Miami Dolphins. So basically what I'm saying is, why not put Shedeur in now? To get some momentum going into next year, to get a full assessment on what Shedeur Sanders can do. And then going into the draft, then you'll know what you need to draft. You know what you need to focus on. If everybody's complaining about the offensive line is trash, there are some stout offensive linemen in the draft that you can go pick. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, the pressure's on. And I think this move, I think the concern is with the resignation of Paul DiBodesto, it opens up a lot of things in this organization. A lot of people don't want Andrew Berry to get this promotion that Jimmy Haslam, has up his sleeve. That's rumors out there. But if Andrew Berry gets a promotion, I think that spells doomsdays for Kevin Stefanski. What you guys think? If Andrew Berry gets a promotion, do you think Kevin Stefanski's job with the Cleveland Browns is up? Because a lot of people, I mean, I'm looking at all these shows, man, and all these shows are titled around, man, Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired. A lot of people feel the same way we feel. Like, Kevin Stefanski is just not fair. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But is Shedeur Sanders getting first team reps? I that's something that, like, the footage was out there from his second day back practice from getting back treatment, right? There was footage of him throwing to David Njoku. There was actually some footage that you could barely see. He was throwing the ball to Jerry Jeudy. So we don't know, like, stuff like that, because they're only going to show you what they want to show you. Because like Mary Kay said, some of them practices are limited for media availability. So the people that are there, they only can capture what they want, and they only put out what they want. Like, it's unfortunate that we don't hear too much about Dillon Gabriel's process in practice. Oh, Dillon Gabriel looks good. It's always the reports that, oh, Shedeur looked outstanding. He was throwing the ball sharp. He was moving around. We don't hear them reports about Dillon Gabriel. Like, I think Dillon Gabriel just knows that his time is up. The Joko too cool with Sanders. Thinks he's going next year. And look, KD, I don't know about that. And the reason why I think that's why David Njoku, see, it's a lot. It's a lot to process in that statement that you just said, because of the fact that David Njoku said he ain't going nowhere. He wants to stay in Cleveland. But why do you why do you want to stay in Cleveland if you're playing with a quarterback that is not helping you out? You understand what I'm saying? You playing with a quarterback that is not helping you out. The quarterback that you're playing with threw a hospital ball to you and got you laid out for 2 games. And you're just now coming back, and you scored a touchdown yesterday. But why? It's something that he has to know, or something he's processing, knowing what the future is going to be. Are they going to turn the keys over to Shedeur? And that's because you see how they interact when you see footage out there. Their interaction is a little different. We don't see that interaction. See, the thing that I have a problem with is we don't see the interaction with Dillon Gabriel and his receivers and people like that. I just don't know. June Brown said Kevin Stefanski should definitely be fired. Also, New York Giants found. Yeah, they got rid of Dabo. They got rid of Dabo. And that's a testament of, how, Daniel Jones is playing in Indy. You get out from under these coaches that have these big egos and have pride, and they do well. They do well. Like Kevin Stefanski, his pride is getting in his way, man. Like, you're not coaching to win. Like, I thought in sports you do what's best for your organization to win, man. And these other NFL teams are making these quick changes at quarterback. These other organizations are making these quick changes at quarterback. Why come Cleveland is not making a change? Why come Cleveland is not making a change? Because if you ask me, everybody said Anthony Richardson was going to be the guy in Indianapolis. Now he's been humbled and been benched for Daniel Jones at the start of the season. So, I mean, it just seems like something's going on in Cleveland. Like, they are scared to make a change. They are scared to make a change in Cleveland. And I don't know what they're scared about. I thought it was about winning. I thought it was out there putting a product on the field that your fans want to see to generate wins. The object of the game is to win, is to put more points up than your opponent. And at this time, they can't even do that. I'm baffled in this whole situation, and I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. Kevin Stefanski is afraid of looking stupid. I don't have all the answers, guys. I just think in this situation, Kevin Stefanski need to come with it, man. I mean, to protect your job, to even make it look even reasonable that you're trying to win, put 12 in. Put 12 in the game, man, and see exactly how things transpire. I mean, it's like, it's not looking good, man. Like I said yesterday on the live with Browns Football Talk, y'all deserve better, man. Y'all deserve better. And I really don't know what's going on, man. I really don't know what's going on. Because you got to put a product on the field that that people want to watch, that people want to get excited for. And if Kevin Stefanski don't want to do that, man, somebody told me, sent me a message and said they should start coming to the game with the bags on their heads like the Saints did back in the days, called the Aints. Like if you start protesting and showing your displeasure and, you know, them chants start raining down, fire Stefanski, you put the heat on the ownership because everybody sees what's going on, man. Dillon Gabriel is just not the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, man. It's just unfortunate, man. Nothing against Dillon Gabriel, man. But from what we've seen from him in 5 games, he just don't have the intangibles to lead that offense. Because the defense is ready. Now, if the offense can match the same energy as the defense, then, man, Cleveland got something brewing. But right now, it just don't look that way. All because Kevin Stefanski can't get out of his own way. So what was this is what I want to ask y'all. What was the reasoning for Kevin Stefanski to give up the play calling duties? What was the reason for Kevin Stefanski giving up the play calling duties? That's what I want y'all to understand. What was the reasoning for Kevin Stefanski giving up the play calling duties, knowing that, like somebody said yesterday on the live, if it walked like a duck, quack like a duck, it must be a duck, right? It must be a duck. So, I mean, it's got to be a duck. It has to be a duck. Dillon Gabriel should have never been drafted in the era of small quarterbacks. Is over. Truly become a big man game. Well, I mean, that's June Brown. You got a perfect point because that's what everybody's hanging their hat on about Dillon Gabriel, the undersized that he has. But then you got to look at what Kevin Stefanski said. He said he made some plays with his feet, but he never said he made some plays with his arm. Yeah, did y'all catch that? He said he made some plays with his feet, but he didn't make no plays with his arm. Like Dillon Gabriel left a lot on the table yesterday. And Dillon Gabriel knows that. Y'all all seen the pass across the middle where he threw the ball at Jerry Jeudy's feet. Yeah, so Craig, I absolutely agree with you. Changing the play caller does not make a difference in a quarterback that doesn't have what it takes. You got to have the right personnel to do what you're doing. If you don't have that personnel behind center to do that, it's not going to work. He don't have running back or wide receiver skills. But you got to have the personnel for the plays that you're calling. I just don't think Dillon is that guy, man. I don't think he's the personnel person that they need. I just, like, the crazy thing about it is, I told people this yesterday. I think Kevin Stefanski is making Dillon Gabriel look bad as well because he keeps marching him out there week after week, knowing that when are you going to get better? Because now the teams that you're facing, it's go time. These teams are in a rhythm. The Baltimore Ravens finally have caught a stride. It took that one game Tyler Huntley won for him when Lamar Jackson was out for them to get back in the rhythm. See what they did to my Minnesota Vikings yesterday. They finally got back into a rhythm and their defense is starting to play like it was advertised to play when they said this was a much better defense this year. So if the Baltimore Ravens play that same type of defense that they played against my Minnesota Vikings yesterday, Dillon Gabriel is doomed. He's doomed. The Ravens should have a field day. And the Ravens, you know, they got some pressure they can put on the quarterback. And you think Dillon Gabriel couldn't escape from the New York Jets and their best defensive tackle got traded? And you putting in guys that are inspired to play and they in there making plays? Just think about what the Ravens going to do to them. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting on what becomes of this, because leading up into next week's matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, is Kevin Stefanski going to be singing a new tune? Is Kevin Stefanski going to be saying, hey, I think it's time for us to see what Shedeur got? Is Shedeur going to get a full week of practice? Is Shedeur going to be getting first-team reps? Is he going to be throwing with the ones? Hey, that's all to be determined. Because I think that Kevin Stefanski was acting off of emotions and feelings when he said we're sticking with Dillon Gabriel after they took a loss. When he basically should have said, we'll take a look at that and we'll let you know who we're starting at quarterback later on in the week. But it seemed like he was confident in saying that Dillon was the guy. And that's the problem that we have. It seems like Dillon Gabriel can look any way that he wants. And Kevin Stefanski is still going to stick with him. Because he said, with young guys, you got to give them time. Well, I don't know. I agree with that, man. J.J. McCarthy's arm is not that he don't have that big of an arm. He don't have that big of an arm. But I think J.J. McCarthy scrambles much better than Dillon, but he couldn't get out of harm's way yesterday. And if the Ravens play any kind of defense that they played on the Minnesota Vikings and play that against the Cleveland Browns, then Dillon's going to look even worse. And then we're going to be right back here talking about the same thing. Craig, he never, that's what I've been telling you guys. Dillon, I don't see Dillon with the capable of coming to the line of scrimmage, changing the plays, sliding protection. Because you heard what he said in his post-game press conference that, you know, he was hot on some of them blitzes. And if he's hot and he knows that he's hot, he has to make a way, find a way. G-Man 112 said, what's up, Wisdom Speaks? Yeah, I just talked about that, Wisdom Speaks. I showed y'all the clip for everybody that's just now coming in. Let's take a listen to what Dillon Gabriel said at his post-game press conference, because, you know, it looked like he was checked out.
After the game that he's sticking with you going forward, not that he shouldn't, it's just that at 2-7 sometimes things change.
Yep.
But he's sticking with you. How do you feel about the opportunity to build on, you know, what you did today and move forward?
Yeah, when things aren't going well, there's always going to be change. That's part of it, because if you keep doing the same thing and don't change anything, then it's insanity. But just I feel like at times there's things that went well and we sustained and executed, and then in certain moments we didn't execute, and that starts with me. But yeah, it's always frustrating when it's not going the way you want it to, and you put in the work and time. But in crucial moments, you got to have it and execute, and we didn't.
Still in the 4th and 1 with about 10 minutes left. It looks like the guy came right off the edge. Where did you want to go with that one, and what did you end up seeing?
Yeah, I'm hot, and we're in our 5-man pro, and got to create something there. And, you know, I was in between knowing that it was 4th and 1, getting outside or getting vertical, and there was a chance that I could have and slipped through, but didn't. But that's why I stayed on that side when I was hot.
What about getting sacked in the game 6 times? What could you have done differently to avoid some of that, or what was going on there? Basically?
Yeah, I don't want to take those. Want to be able to dish it and find a safe place to dish it. But in those moments too, can't take sacks.
Dylan, it seemed like Tommy drew up some stuff for you, sort of like getting out of the pocket, rolling out a little bit. Just what do you think for you? Like, is that something that you think is part of your game where you can sort of thrive? Like, what do you see on those plays that you think makes them effective plays for you?
I think for anyone, it's versatility, and you want to have that. You want to move launch points. You want to keep the defense off balance. It helps the run. It helps the O-line. Helps me. It helps everyone involved. And I think the more versatile you are, it helps. But, I think that in general helped us throughout the day.
Now, you heard what Dillon Gabriel had to say, man. And like I said, he looks dejected there. He looks defeated. He looks like something ain't right. Like, they asked him a lot of quarterback questions, and especially pertaining to the sacks. The read is on him. He couldn't get out. Like, I just don't know. And somebody said there was a clip that, Shedeur Sanders was trying to, I saw the clip of him and Shedeur after he came out, and Shedeur, they was looking over a play, but they said there was another clip that Shedeur Sanders tried to dap him up and he left him hanging. So I don't know how true that is, but a lot of people were saying that. I don't have that. This New York's finest new sub from New York loved the show yesterday and came back for more today. I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming by. Appreciate the love and support. Juanita Robinson, Dillon Gabriel was checked out during the game. At first, he had the smirk about Shedeur always. Now, not so funny. Yeah, I appreciate all the new subs, man. Appreciate all the new supporters. Appreciate everybody that enjoyed the show yesterday, man. If y'all was here for the show yesterday, I did a collaboration with Browns Football Talk with Reese over there at Browns Football Talk, man. Y'all put a one in the chat if y'all enjoyed that show, that after party. Because we had it popping yesterday in the after party after the game, man. So y'all go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat if y'all enjoyed that show, man, because we had the phone lines going crazy. We had a lot of people calling in, but that was an outstanding show, man. So I appreciate all the love and support. But yeah, we I think me and Reese from Browns Football Talk, man, we might give y'all that after party every time after next week's game as well. So I appreciate everybody's feedback. Been getting a lot of positive feedback, a lot of positive comments and everything. So I'm glad that y'all enjoyed the show. I'm glad that we can bring y'all stuff like that. But yeah, just in this sense, man, Dillon Gabriel is just, it almost looked like y'all said, like y'all been saying, it looked like he was checked out. Like, it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it looked, and that's just the way it seemed, even by his responses. And if you heard early on, he said, when you don't change things, change is going to come. So I don't know. So I really don't know. So it is what it is, man. And, like I said, there's a lot of channels out there that, say a lot of different things about this situation with Shedeur and things like this. But there's a lot of channels out there that just out there talking out the side of their neck. A lot of, somebody hit me up in the comment sections and said something about 2 particular channels out there just lying and clickbaiting and things like that. I don't get off into that, man. I don't get off into what somebody else is doing on their channel. I can't control that. I only can control what goes on over here on my channel and what I be bringing to you guys. So I appreciate people sending me that information, but I don't get off into that. You know, they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I can't, I can, you know, some of the things that I hear I can't condone, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, you know, a lot of people, you know, send me messages like, man, so and so out there, you know, over there lying, and people in their comments is flaming the host of the show. You know, I see it, but like I said, I don't get off into that. So when I present content to you, when it's surrounded around this whole situation, I give you the truth and I give you the facts to back it up. So you'll never catch me over here lying just for y'all to listen. It don't benefit me. I give people the truth so I can get a real respective audience, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all come back and want to hear more from me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people that just out there talking. We don't have to mention no names. I'm not here to name drop or name call, but people know who they are, because a lot of people are really following this Shedeur wave with the Cleveland Browns and their quarterback situation. So people know who the real ones are. People know who the real ones are. It's all good. It's all good, Marlon. You probably had some other things to do. But my Ravens will get Shedeur in the game because, see, hey, G man 112. Like I said, I'm not name dropping, but this is like, I wanted to post your comment up here because I get a lot of messages about this particular guy. And like I said, I don't have no reason to lie to you guys. I have no reason to lie to you guys. What I tell you guys is the facts. And G-Man 112, you're just backing up what I'm saying. I'm telling you, you just backing up. I'm just backing up what I've said. So, like I said, I don't get off into what they talk about on their channels. I just be like, wow. But for some reason, he's doing something. He's doing something that's working for him. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. A lot of people know that, because if that wasn't the case, they wouldn't be sending me messages about certain YouTubers. Hey, shout out to Wisdom Speak for the $10 super chat. I absolutely enjoyed your show. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Wisdom Speaks. Thanks for the $10 super chat. Thanks for the support. Much love, my brother. I totally agree with that, Resurrect Mimes. Integrity is key to longevity. It absolutely is. And that's what I say. It's no reason to lie to folks, man. There's no reason to lie to kick it. See, that's y'all open up a can. Y'all open up a can with this. But hey, only thing I can do is respect his hustle. If that's what it takes for him to do what he do, I'm not going to knock it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know over here, I'm just dealing with facts. I'm dealing with. I give you the cat is out the bag. Yeah, I just give y'all the facts, man. I try to give it to you. That's why I always want people to. I just don't get up here and talk. I give people a chance to express themselves. I give people a chance to call in to give their opinion, right? That's the only thing I can do on my channel. But I appreciate y'all. But sometimes when you have cats like that, it's hard to compete with. Because if some cats is over there lying and you spitting the truth, you got to compete with that. So now you're in between. You see what I'm saying? Appreciate that, G-Man. Football Junkie 55, appreciate you. Appreciate that, Craig Tatum. And see, Craig Tatum, that's why you're a member of the channel. That's why you're a member of the channel. But it's hard to compete with people that make up stories. But that's why I'm so I got a lot of gratitude for a lot of people that come over here and support me and want to listen to what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the fact that you guys come back every time y'all see a notification from Simply Ball Dropping. I just appreciate everybody's engagement. So I appreciate that. But sometimes it's hard to compete because now people are getting fed a lot of false prophets. You know what I'm saying? And now when you're speaking the truth, everybody gonna be like, oh, nah, he not speaking the truth because I heard something on one other channel that's going against what he says. So that's why I always say, hey, phone lines is open. Y'all call in and y'all participate. So what we'll do, man, without further ado, man, we can I will open up the phone lines. If anybody wants to call in, we'll probably take about, if y'all call in, we'll probably take about 5 or 6 phone calls, and then we'll get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Well, y'all cutting up. Trill City, man, you cutting up tonight. Trill City came in here cutting up. Yeah, Trill City came in here cutting up, man. Trill City, don't hurt nobody tonight, man. Shay Boost said, I only deal with the real ones. You can't listen to that. I totally agree with that, Shay Boost. You can't listen to everybody because that just messes it up for the real ones that are out there. It messes it up. I agree with you, Trill City. That's why I always have a safe space over here where we talking facts. It's facts over feelings, man. Facts over feelings, man. But yeah, right now, man, what I do is always, man, I'm going to open up the phone lines, man. The phone lines is open, so guys can call into the show. The phone line is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to call in, let your voice be heard, go ahead and give us a call. Yeah, Football Junkie, we keep receipts over here. Wisdom Speaks says even if they get the number 1 quarterback in the draft, he'll be a non-factor because he still has to develop, and Stefanski hasn't proven he can do that. Stefanski can't develop quarterbacks. And that goes back to what Dillon Sanders said. Coaches don't develop quarterbacks. You either got it or you don't. You either got it or you don't. So if you want to call in numbers at the bottom of the screen, 214-425-9333. You can call in and let your voice be heard. Phone lines are now open. Tony Grossi just be what Trill said. He said, "G man, Grossi so lazy." He said, "Grossi so lazy. He ain't even get his hate on right. He changed the whole goalpost. Now he mad at Chris for checking his ass is simply ball dropping." Yeah, hey, you know that. No, look, that's Tony Grossi, man. He's easy to fry. He's easy pickings, man. There's too many receipts on Tony Grossi. There's too many receipts on there. Yeah, too many receipts on Tony Grossi. Y'all know what it is. There's too many receipts out there on Tony Grossi. Tony Grossi is easy work. Told you it's too much Flipperowski. On the line with K-Sap, SB, who we got?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Doing okay. This is Dee calling from Las Vegas again.
What's going on, D?
Yeah, I spoke with you guys yesterday, but I was wondering if you ever thought about this. I know everybody is ready to see Shedeur play, as am I, but a couple of things here. Number one, why is everyone comparing Shedeur and Dillon as if there's some comparison? Because there's not. Shedeur is lights out a much better player. He's light years ahead of Dillon Gabriel. Why he fell as far as he did in the draft, no one has the answers. I don't even think the NFL has the answers at this point. The next thing that we need to think about is the fact that Shedeur Sanders has this thing called a prime clause in his contract. The NFL is scared of this particular clause because if you can remember, his jersey, I believe it was the number one jersey sold by any rookie ever in the NFL. I believe it broke that record.
Yeah, Shedeur. He holds them rights.
And so they had to give him $25 million on those jersey sales, which has never been done. These things that he's doing, these are things that have never been done. They have, every time they show Shedeur's image, anytime they say his name, he gets paid for this stuff. I don't understand if people know that this is something that's never been done before. So these kinds of situations are completely new to the NFL. They don't like his bravado. They don't like the fact that his dad knows the NFL, the business side of the NFL well enough to navigate his son's career. Not saying that Deion is going to completely take over Shedeur's career, but he knows enough to steer his son in the right direction. So we have to give Deion some credit for allowing Shedeur to go through what he's doing. Now, not to say that, again, that he's put his entire hand on the scale, but don't think for 1 minute that Deion doesn't at least have his thumb on his son's career. Just like we're watching, Deion is somewhere watching his son, making sure that they're doing what's best for Shedeur when it's all said and done. And again, I mean, I don't want to make the comparison to Shedeur and Dillon. I don't think they're the same quarterbacks at all. I believe Shedeur is much more talented than Dillon is. Dillon, he's defeated. He knows. He sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The poor kid, it's not even his fault.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do want to touch bases on what you said about the prime clause and the prime effect. That situation, I heard that out there earlier in training camp. Somebody was talking about prime equity, the prime effect. The reason I never spoke on it, because I'm not educated well enough to know exactly what that entails. So I never spoke on it because I didn't want to come out and give people wrong information. So I kind of stayed away from it until I get everything in order to speak on it, because it's allegedly, the things that you said is allegedly. We don't know that to be true about the 25 million. So that's the reason I haven't spoke on it. But I respect, the knowledge that you have because you spoke on it so eloquently, but we just don't know at this particular time.
Actually, that's Googleable. You can Google how much money Shedeur made on that particular jersey. They gave him a ridiculously low percentage. I believe it was 4% of all jersey sales. They tried to get more than that, but they ended up settling for 4%, which turned out to be $25 million. But yes, that's very Googleable.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm glad that you have the upper hand knowledge on that, but me personally, when it comes to things like that, I kind of try to stay away from, because I don't want to put the narrative out there to people that, I'm just coming up with stuff and then they got to go Google it. I want to know if it's a fact, because you don't hear too many people talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's certain people that made mention of it, but I haven't heard too many people say. I haven't even heard mainstream media pick this up. So
they have not.
That's why.
And you got to understand too that mainstream media, they're beholden. Don't forget now, these guys are beholden to these what I want to call advertisers. So they better not speak about certain things. There's just some things that they have to kind of push under a rug.
And there's certain things that I fall back from. And this is probably going to be one of them that I fall back from. But I appreciate the knowledge that you have on it. Now let's go to the comparison of Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. Everybody knows there's no comparison. That is a made-up story by Tony Grossi in the Cleveland media. That's where all this stuff generated from.
That's exactly what's going on. They have the privilege of having their own sports
agenda.
Media, while the entire state of Ohio only has 2 professional football teams. Well, they got the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I believe it's the Cincinnati Reds. They have some good teams out there. Not saying that they shouldn't.
Cleveland Guardians.
They don't have right.
But
I'm sorry. I'm from California originally. We have 1,000,001 teams per city, and we kind of grow teams in California and dispatch them everywhere else when they start losing. So
So I mean, like I said, man, I respect that you are full in tuned in the situation that's going on. And that's what I appreciate when people call, because they just don't call and just start running off at the mouth. They call with some pretty good things that can really educate a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's just certain things that I don't feel comfortable speaking on. And like you said, the mainstream media don't pick it up, so I fall back. But when it comes to the Dillon, when it comes to Dillon and Shedeur, them comparisons, it's not even a comparison. I don't know. I don't see how you compare Dillon Gabriel to Shedeur Sanders. It don't even make sense.
Right.
His name shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath as Shedeur Sanders.
It should not. It's like people say oranges to apples. Well, this is oranges to pineapples.
Yeah.
It's not even in the same. I mean, it are apples to pineapples.
Yeah.
Pick
any way you want to say it. You can come up with your own saying on that. Apples to oranges, pears to grapes. Acorns to apricots.
Right. Because we all understand that Shedeur will be a franchise player really soon. Now, if it is going to be in Cleveland, that remains to be seen. We all understand that. Unfortunately, Dillon Gabriel is a 5'11" quarterback on his best day. The brother might be 5'10".
5'11". Nah, you giving him too much you giving him too much grace on 5'11". With them cleats on coming out that tunnel, he might be 5'11". But I'm just saying, Dillon Gabriel probably stands about 5'9", 5'10". He's short in stature.
But and then here's the problem. Here's the other problem. In today's football league, these guys are much bigger and somehow they're much faster.
Yeah.
Now, once upon a time in the late 80s and in the 90s, you could have a quarterback just kind of skin by at 5'11", and he'll do okay, depending on his arm, depending on his athleticism. But Dillon has neither. He has small hands. He has a little height to work with, small hands, and he's a left-handed quarterback. So he's got too many ain't gots, as we used to say in the 80s. He's got too many ain't gots.
Yeah.
So there's not enough there to compensate.
And I will say this before I let you go. Even on the touchdown he threw to Jerry Jeudy yesterday, the 25-yard pass, it was a struggle to get that down to Jerry Jeudy. Because Jerry
really was.
Jerry Jeudy had to win the route and come off to the DB to come back to get that ball. So
exactly. So I was wondering why all the praise for that.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a really low pass.
Yeah.
And you're right.
It was dying. It was dying at the 20. It was dying 26 yards in there. It was dying. Yeah.
That's
so
what they call floater.
Yeah, they call that a dying quail. Yeah. But hey, look, great call. I appreciate you calling in from California. I appreciate all the love and support that you have for the channel.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Compton, California. I just happen to live here in Las Vegas for right now.
And I appreciate the call.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. All right, great call. Great call. Yeah, the phone lines are open if you want to call in, have your voice be heard. Yeah. Call-in number is 214-425-9333. Yeah, you can have your voice be heard. But yeah, a lot of people, trying to give Dillon Gabriel that 5'11-ish. He's not that tall. He's not that tall. But yeah. But like I stated, like I saw the pass, the touchdown he threw to Jerry Jeudy. That was just a simple 25-yard pass. And he didn't have no steam on it. You're on the line with SBD and KSAP. Who we got?
What's going on, KSAP, man? It's Quay again, man. I'm down here in Dallas.
What's going on,
calling in, man. What's going on, man? I want to talk, man. I've been seeing that they trying to switch this new narrative about just going straight to another quarterback. The Mendoza guy, I've been seeing he's doing pretty well, and they want to go straight to him. So I'm trying to see, so when was it okay for you not to play everybody on your roster to fully make a logical decision on what you have, and then okay, if Shedeur plays bad, you make your decision. Okay, he ain't the guy, or he plays great. He is the guy. And then you evaluate the draft. When did that stop happening? When did the team stop doing that?
When Shedeur Sanders was drafted by the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah. So now you know that the new narrative is after Dillon Gabriel is done, put somebody else out there, or now we need, or you hear a couple guys saying, okay, now we just need to see what we got in the draft. Mendoza, we need to take another quarterback. The Cleveland Browns are basically saying, okay, we need to take another quarterback without seeing what Shedeur has.
And that's the problem that we have. You're trying to see, the problem I have is with this whole organization and Kevin Stefanski with the evaluation of the quarterback, right? And just like you said, there's no fair assessment on the evaluation of Shedeur Sanders, because we've only seen Shedeur Sanders, the great evaluation after, game 1 preseason against the Carolina Panthers. He balled out. Second game against the Rams, sacked 6 times. But we saw what he was up against. He had players in the game that are trying to make the roster. And the opposing team of the Rams, they was just teeing off on him because they're trying to make the roster too. But the sad thing is, 4 to 5 linemen that that was protecting Shedeur Sanders, they ain't on nobody's NFL roster. Now, when it comes to Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of Indiana, that's the quarterback that you're talking about, right?
Correct.
Now, if you're looking at Mendoza's numbers this year, it's like he's thrown for 2,340 some yards, right? I think he's thrown for like 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And he has a QBR around the 85, 88 range, right? Now, if you're telling me you want to go into the draft picking a quarterback like that off of his stats, what was Shedeur Sanders' stats last year coming into the NFL?
Yeah, the highest completion percentage in FBS. He threw for over 4,000. Yeah, he had better stats than that.
46 some touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, 5 interceptions.
The best QBR, best completion rate in the FBS, right?
Correct.
But you're not giving him a chance, but you just want to skip the process and you want to go straight to Fernando Mendoza, and you saying that he is going to be the quarterback of the future, and you're not even giving Shedeur a chance?
Yeah, let him. If he plays good, he plays good. If he plays bad, he plays bad.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's what's going on with people?
To your question, this only started happening when Shedeur Sanders got into the NFL.
Yeah, I know.
How are you going to draft 2 rookie quarterbacks, right? And then say to yourself, you're only giving one of your rookies a chance to go out there and perform, right? You haven't gave the other rookie a chance to perform because they know exactly what Shedeur Sanders can bring to the table. Right. And that now you got all these narratives out there about Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. But you see what happened, though. This is what happened, Quay. The narrative first started with Arch Manning.
Yep.
What happened to that narrative? What happened to the Arch Manning talk now?
He wasn't playing good, and they knew he wasn't coming out.
So now they go search for another quarterback that they want to talk about. Yep. Now they want to talk about Indiana Hoosiers Fernando Mendoza.
With a stacked roster as well. He has all day in the pocket. He has great receivers to throw to. Another thing I see too is that, and that G. Bush talks about it all the time. You go out, okay, you don't give Shedeur a shot. You go out, you get Mendoza. What did you fix? You ain't gonna get no lineman. You ain't gonna add to the receiver corps because the receiver corps needs a lot of help.
But that's the problem I have,
Quay.
Quay.
You're gonna have the same issue next year. You're gonna be bad next year because your cap go up next year.
Exactly.
You gotta pay Deshaun Watson, your cap go up. A lot of those players they have already not on contract. So you ultimately end up being worse next year and getting another quarterback.
Well, you don't have to play Deshaun Watson. He just has to be on the roster.
Right. You gotta pay him.
Yeah, you still got to pay him. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah. Goes back to your point about drafting a quarterback such as Fernando Mendoza, right? This goes back to your point. Why not put Shedeur in now, right? To see what you got. Right. Now, when the draft comes, you'll know what you need to address. People are out here calling about the offensive line is trash. Now there's some stout offensive linemen coming out of this draft. Go get you some offensive linemen to build around Shedeur. Because if you, like you said, you go out and you draft Mendoza, you got the same issue you got this year. Now you got to go back through the developing process. So is it going to be coming into if Shedeur don't see the field this year, are we going to go into this same mess into training camp where Dillon Gabriel's quarterback 1, Shedeur's quarterback 2, or if they draft Mendoza's quarterback 2, Shedeur's quarterback 3, the emergency quarterback, and then you still got Deshaun Watson, you still got 4 quarterbacks on your roster?
Yeah, that's bull job right there. That's messing around.
That's all I'm saying.
Ultimately, you ain't got to the bottom of nothing.
You ain't progressed in solving nothing. It's too many things that we see that are going against Shedeur Sanders. And we point it out every night.
Every night. I got one more thing, and I'm gonna let you get back to it. So I've been talking to one of my best friends, man, and we talk about it all the time. And he had his estimate of Dillon Gabriel was gonna play bad this game, and Shedeur was gonna come in against the Ravens. He thinks Shedeur plays next week. And I told him that gives Dillon Gabriel 7 games. And I said, I see Shedeur coming in versus the Raiders. And if he doesn't come in versus the Raiders, he for sure plays Cam Ward because that sells our tickets. So I got Shedeur either coming in next week or I mean, not next week against the Raiders, or I have him coming in against Tennessee? What you think?
The problem I have with that, I don't want to see Shedeur come in the game halfway through a game. I don't want to see that. I want Shedeur to come in as a starter. I want Shedeur to have a full week with the first team to prepare, and Kevin Stefanski say Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback one. The only way I want to see Shedeur Sanders enter the game, I don't wish injuries on nobody. That's unless Dillon Gabriel goes down. But I don't want to see Kevin Stefanski pull Dillon Gabriel and put Shedeur Sanders in there to go fix his mess. I don't want to see that.
Right.
I want to see Shedeur Sanders leading up to a week where we hear on a Tuesday that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the starting quarterback for this upcoming matchup.
Right.
I don't want to see Shedeur Sanders marched out there in the middle of a game when the game is blown out. What can we learn from that? We can't learn nothing, because once the game is over and out of balance, what do these coaches do? They take out their players. That's not going to help Shedeur out one way or the other. I want to see Shedeur from start to finish. That's me.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's why I told him I see him starting versus the Raiders or either starting against Cam Ward, because we all know that game sells out tickets if they say, hey, Shedeur's going to be a starter here against the Titans.
That's the game I want to see.
What, 5 games left on the season. That'll have Dillon Gabriel have them played 8, 9 games. They give Shedeur 5 games. Yeah. So what game do you?
I want to see him against Tennessee. That's the game I want to see him start. And the only reason why I have nothing against Cam Ward, but the guys that's been following my channel and since I've been covering this story, I've always said I thought Shedeur Sanders should have been the #1 quarterback, took it in the draft to the Tennessee Titans. I have nothing against Cam Ward. Cam Ward is an exceptional quarterback, but Cam Ward is struggling. And I thought that Shedeur Sanders was the better quarterback out of the two coming into the draft. And that's the game that I want to see. And the only reason why I want to see it is because I'm not trying to be proven right. I just want that narrative out there to be shut down that Cam Ward was so much better than Shedeur Sanders. I want that to be calmed down.
Yeah, they love that narrative. That's one of their favorites.
And then they try to put Cam Ward against Shedeur, but Cam Ward, in his little interview that he had on one of them podcasts, he shut that down.
Yep. Definitely did. I seen that. And he already said he thought Shedeur was either him or Shedeur was #1. So he even thought it was a debate about who was #1.
Cam Ward knows, man, and that's what I respect from Cam Ward. But with Tennessee, he's struggling. I hate to say it, he got a lower passer rating than Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah,
I hate to say
it. He does. He don't really use. He's not using his legs or nothing right now.
Nope. Because see, Cam Ward, his problem is he's too nonchalant. He likes to stand back in that pocket and be a gunslinger. Like sometimes you got to use your feet to escape.
Yeah, you got to use your legs, man.
Because I tell you one thing,
he was more mobile than Shedeur. That was another narrative.
That was another narrative that he had more mobility than Shedeur. He was faster than Shedeur. Shedeur might not have his daddy's legs, but he's a capable person to get outside the pocket and make you pay. And that's what Cam Ward. If Cam Ward gets outside of the pocket, he gonna get you that ball. He gonna sling that ball. But the problem is he stands back in that pocket. That's why he takes all the sacks that he takes, because he don't utilize his legs. He don't escape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right.
A great call, Quay. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Good call.
All right.
Another great call by Quay. That was a very interesting call, very informative call. And I believe in what Quay said, man. It's kind of interesting because the narrative's going, and like I said, the narrative was out there that everybody's checking for Arch Manning. The Cleveland Brass went up there when they played Ohio State. The Cleveland Brass went up there to check out, Arch Manning. But guess what happened, y'all? That Arch Manning train kind of derailed. It kind of died down. Now the narrative is Fernando Mendoza, out of Indiana. Y'all keep an eye on that. China eyes, you starting to see it now? That's why I say, man, y'all come over here, man, get a heavy dose of this realness, man. A heavy dose of realness, man. Because we're going to say things that y'all probably never thought we would say. But it's all actual factual. It's all actual factuals. Because y'all got to realize something. For everybody that's in the chat, I want y'all to realize something. When the college football season started, and they said that the Cleveland Browns was going to tank because they a potential to get Arch Manning in the draft at number 1, right? And what happened? We seen what Arch Manning's capable of doing. We've seen that Arch Manning is not him. And we seen that Arch Manning train kind of get off the tracks and derail. And what happened? Now, all of a sudden, the shift and the focus goes to, guess who? Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of out of Indiana. That's how crazy it is. That's how crazy it is. That's how crazy it is. And what Quay said, man, look, Indiana got a great offensive line, got great receivers. So Mendoza got a chance to, sling in that pocket and deliver the ball. But hey, y'all know what it is. Yeah, because you see, you got to understand something, man. When we talk about the draft, man, because we never thought that Shedeur was going to fall to the 5th round. We thought it was a done deal that he was going to be either the number 1 or 2 quarterback coming out the draft, but that didn't happen. We had to wait to the 5th round, see where Shedeur Sanders was going to go. And that's just what it is. 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 Yeah, Arch Manning need to stay in college. You're on the line with K-Sap and SBD. Who we got? Hello?
Hello. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on? Who we got?
This is Robinson. I'm out of San Antonio.
What's going on, Robinson?
Hey, I've been watching this thing for a while. I'm like most of the people. I've been following. I'm from Texas. So I've been following Shedeur since the cats up in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
But I don't really think he's going to play. And everybody keeps saying, like I'm reading on the screen, it says, does Dillon Gabriel think his time is coming to Cleveland? I don't think so. You got to remember, Cam Ward is doing pretty bad over there in Tennessee.
But who is Tennessee's backup?
Yeah, I understand that. That's the point.
But the difference is
Dillon Gabriel backup?
Shedeur Sanders.
Hold on. Let me finish.
All right.
That is the main reason why he's not going to play, because he's Shedeur Sanders. If he had been anybody else, yeah, he'd been already out there. And see, other people understand. They're not going to play Shedeur. And Kevin Stefanski is going to keep Dillon Gabriel doing just enough to keep him out there. Like he said the other day, well, he's a rookie quarterback. He's young. He's not going to replace some guys. And I'm telling everybody this, I'm telling you, he's not going to play. Even if Cleveland lose the rest of their games, he is not going to play. Because guess what? If they were going to play Shedeur, they would already done it. Everybody keeps saying, well, Dillon Gabriel doing so crazy, Flacco doing this but guess what, guys? Listen, I'm not an NFL scout. I'm not an NFL coach. I'm not none of that. But my eyes can see. I saw what Shedeur did at Jackson State. I saw what he did at Colorado. I saw him. This guy can play. You know what? One time, Shedeur Sanders said, they asked him about who's his favorite quarterback. He said Joe Burrow. And if you watch Shedeur, he plays like Joe Burrow. He can throw for real. And I think Cleveland is going to sit him on the bench because of that thing that happened with whatever they're doing with the collusion, whatever, right? But I don't think he's going to play because if you're a coach at any level and you get this star dude on the bench, why not put him out there? They keep asking Stefanski, hey, why not even Mary Kay? Hey, give Shedeur, basically saying, give Shedeur a chance. What did he say? That's not my folks, man. They ain't worried about no Shedeur. Shedeur is here. He in the background. He's going to keep all these eyes watching. But like one guy said, I forgot who said it. I watched a bunch of you guys. Those fans in Cleveland, they need to stop going to the games. Because this is what you're going to get. Y'all been getting this for 100 years. They ain't going to stop. So I'm thinking he's not going to play. And if somebody can show me where he's going to play, then I'm saying, show me, because I just don't see it. You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? They're going to win a game or two. Watch.
Okay.
They're going to win a game or two.
Now, Mr. Robinson,
when they win those games,
okay,
go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh,
go ahead. Finish. I don't mean to cut you off. Finish.
Yeah. When they win those games, guess what's going to happen?
What?
Dillon Gabriel is the greatest guy in the world.
Okay. Now, can I ask you a question, Mr. Robinson?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to ask you a truthful question. Just give me a truthful answer.
Hey, I'm a realist, man. I live in the real world.
How many shows have you watched on this platform?
I try to watch you like every day.
Okay.
I get a chance to, it comes up, I'm under the feed, and I sit down and watch you. But you have some live shows, and then you have some regular, little short shows.
Yeah.
Because I like watching you, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're like me. You're the only one I watch that actually tell the truth. Most people try to just go around. No, I don't want to hear all that. When I hear people trying to, isolate me, I just switch to another channel because I don't like people just try to tell me what I would see. I know Shedeur is good.
Yeah.
I know Shedeur is Shedeur is not good. Shedeur is really, really good.
Okay. And the reason why I asked you that question, because every show takes on its different identity, right? Because we have did shows where we said, me personally, I said, I don't think Shedeur gonna play. You got to show me before I can believe it. You see what I'm saying? Because everything that you spoke to, I agree with. We've done shows like that, and everybody in the chat has said basically the same thing. I don't think he's gonna play. It's bigger than that. But every show that we do takes on its own personal identity, right? So our shows are different. But we have stated on several shows that we don't think Shedeur gonna get in. We're calling for Shedeur to get in, but we don't think he's gonna get in. You see what I'm saying? Because I said to the last caller, they want him to get in against Baltimore. I don't want to see Shedeur march out there in the middle of a game. I want y'all to tell me that Shedeur Sanders is going to be your starting quarterback coming up for your next opponent. That's when I will believe it. But until then, we just talk about it. We talk about the chances. When do you want to see Shedeur get in? How many games you think Shedeur is going to get? But like I've said on plenty of occasions, Kevin Stefanski is going to go down with the ship. He is going to keep Dillon Gabriel in there, like you said, just enough to say and justify this is the reason why we picked Dillon Gabriel in the third round.
Yeah, that's the play, and they're gonna keep him. They're gonna keep riding his horse, and then he's gonna say, well, they didn't pull Cam Ward, at Tennessee, or this guy right here, he struggled his first. What's his name? Caleb from Chicago.
Caleb Williams.
He struggled this year.
Now Caleb Williams actually has played under Johnson. He's actually played tremendously well. Because I'm not a Caleb Williams fan. And last year I was telling people that he missed a lot of throws. Yeah, he couldn't throw the ball. He missed a lot of throws. Yeah, he could use his feet. But this year he got me eating humble pie this year because he has he has, progress. He's got better.
Yeah, he's the Caleb that we first saw at Oklahoma. That's when he first came on the scene.
Exactly. That was what everybody fell in love with. He getting out of the pocket,
Yeah.
throwing, timely passes on the run. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's when we fell in love with him. And he was even USC and did a little thing out there. But I don't know. But I ain't gonna stay too long. I know you got other callers calling in. I just want to say, guys, look, Shedeur is special. And this is what I think most of the fans have to remember. We're not talking about an average quarterback. We're talking about a quarterback who has fans from the East Coast to the West Coast to Europe to South America to Canada. This guy is huge. They know it. And so what they're gonna do? It's gonna just play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Cleveland got the audience. Right now, Cleveland is most talked about team in NFL.
Yep.
Crazy about a fifth string quarterback.
Yep.
I mean a fifth round quarterback. But they're still doing it. And the narrative is not gonna stop, but they're not gonna play him.
Yeah.
And so me personally, I hope he gets a chance to play because I'm gonna tell you what I used to do. I used to stop work, take my break just at the time so I can watch the game on Saturdays, right?
Yeah.
So I can see him play because he plays with such style and such class that you don't really see that from a lot of college quarterbacks.
Yeah, he got that aura about
and some
himself.
yeah. Yeah. And so, but anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I just want to say, hey, you got a nice show, man. Keep it up. Right?
I appreciate
Keep it
you,
up.
man.
got a
Good
real nice
call,
show.
Robinson. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, and I give them likes every time too.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, we'll see you out.
Hey, great call by Mr. Robinson, man. That was a great call, man. Very informative, man. Yeah. I can't disagree with him, man. He basically feels the same way I feel. But hey, what's up, China Eyes? I see you walked up in here. I see you. Kevin Stefanski definitely not worried about his job. It's not his decision. DG a bum, and no matter what, it's tank season for who's better for the position. Yeah. But man, look, hey, that was a great call by Mr. Robinson, man. I appreciate the call. Like I said, man, this platform is an open forum, man. Like if you want to call, let your voice be heard, man, give us a call. No, don't be scared. Just football talk. Don't be scared. Shedeur isn't asking for handouts. He's asking for honesty. Ohio media built the villain arc, but the kid's still writing his own story. Stay tuned. Prime effect. Juanita Robinson, Shedeur is the most talked about quarterback in NFL. I think that's what Stefanski is also mad about. Like I said, Stefanski, he letting that pride. You're on the line with KSAP and SBD. Who we got?
Hey, what's up now? This G-Man from Cleveland.
What's up, G-Man?
And my man, hold on, let me turn this thing down because I be making mistakes and stuff like that. Okay, I think I got it now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My guy, I've been watching and listening to the Cleveland media run all of our black pro sports stars, from the city. They did Jim Brown like that. I was born the year after Jim Brown, left Cleveland, in the first year that Art Modell actually took over the Browns. But I watched them run Andre Thornton. He was the first baseman for the Cleveland Indians. Albert Bell was the first baseman for the Cleveland Indians. I seen them run Chip Banks out of town. I've seen them run Greg Pruitt out of town. I've seen them run Ernest Bynard, especially out of town. After the fumble, he still was a great football player. All the way down to Ron Harper, which was a very great basketball player. Mary Kay and that other guy, Tony Grotesque. Before the internet became prevalent and stuff like that, I had this job. I was a parking attendant, And I was a amateur sports player, flag football, the baddest cornerback in the league. You know what I'm saying, for the USTFL. But at any event, I would read their columns, and I would be like, God, well, how do they know all of this, these things personally about these players? What I'm not seeing, by me being here, and I had no idea, basically, because I was young. I had no idea how the media set narratives like they do. But the first narrative that I saw set against Shedeur was when they took him from the first quarterback to the second quarterback. See, Shedeur, he would have came out in the 2024 draft, but his father told him no because of the other quarterbacks that were coming out. The ones that's ain't really no standout, first rounders from last year. But at any event, as soon as that happened, Shedeur was claimed to be the number one quarterback prospect of the 2025 season. And then the narrative came at the end of that season that Cam Ward was the number one draft pick. And that's when all these other narratives came out about the biggest one, and the biggest downfall was the New York Giants. They did that. The Giants did that just to get back at Deion Sanders, because Deion Sanders walked the hell out from them because they tried to make Deion Sanders jump through their loops like a slave and have him read a big, thick book, like he was some kind of quarterback. And Deion, he asked him, what pick y'all got in the draft? And they said 17. Deion, he said, I'll be going by then. He got up and left the hell up out of there, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, look, check this out, man. We got
York
other guys
Giants
trying to call in, man. So go ahead and wrap this up so we can get all the other callers in.
Yeah. All I was just saying about how the media, they're like the Pharisees of Africa. You know what I'm saying? They liars, they set narratives, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing new under the sun. That's what I'm saying with the media.
I got you. But great call as always, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. All right, we got another great call, man. Everybody got their own opinion on things, man, and I do appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that's calling in. Trill City put the stats up for y'all, so if y'all want to pay attention to Trill City TV, he giving you the stats. Dillon Gabriel was 17 of 32, 167 yards, 2 TDs, but 2 interceptions, but 2 interceptions and no 2H spark, protecting number 12 versus a 1-7 punchless offense. This rainy flap to Fields, dink and dunk screen, insert Shedeur now, who's with me? Yeah. Juanita Robinson said if it wasn't for Shedeur love for the game, I think we would have been gone. God got him, though. Power moves. Yeah. Yeah, man. So that pretty much sums it up, man. We had some great calls tonight, man. Had a lot of people in the chat. What's up, man? Down Sports. What's up, my man Mel? DG doesn't look like the future at all. The Browns are wasting their time. Yeah, Mel, we've been talking about that all the time, man. Appreciate you, Man Down Sports, for tuning in, man. If y'all not following Man Down Sports, man, y'all go in there and follow Man Down Sports, man. You on the line with SBD and KSAP. Who we got?
Hey, man. Yesterday, they did let me come in, man, and I just forgot half of my points. One of the points I wanted to make was, one thing people never point out is the fact that Shedeur's been taught football since he was 5, 6 years old by the very best. And you know, like I know, Deion Sanders wouldn't allow him to be taught improperly. So, like, some of the things and the narratives that they throw out there to hold him back is just, I think, like I said, kind of garbage. Because if we were talking about, say, maybe one of the Mannings, like Ark or somebody like that, they automatically get credibility as if Deion Sanders wasn't elite as well. And I know it's at a different position, but you still got to remember that kid has been taught how to be a professional since he was 6 years old by the best. What's your thought?
Oh yeah, I followed. Listen, for people that don't know, man, I'm out here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've been watching Shedeur.
You know.
Listen, I've been watching Shedeur Sanders run around on TV on the OWN network ever since he was small and knee-high to crickets, right? I've seen the maturation process of Shedeur Sanders. I've seen the maturation of when Shedeur Sanders wanted to become a quarterback. I've seen Deion have Jeff Blake and all them guys over at his house, not too far from where I reside, probably about 10 minutes, where Deion's house is in Prosper, Texas, the one that y'all saw on the OWN network. And he did Deion's family playbook and all that. I've seen the maturation process when he went to Truth, when Deion had the academy. I've seen him play up close and personal at the Truth Academy, right? I've seen him play up close and personal. I've seen even Bucky play up close and personal at Cedar Hill High School. I've seen the maturation of Shiloh Sanders as well. And then when he went off to Jackson State, I seen him up close and personal. I've seen what Shedeur Sanders is capable of doing. I covered Shedeur Sanders when he was at Colorado. I know what Shedeur Sanders is capable of doing. That's why I'm trying to tell people, I've seen the people that he's grew up around. I've seen his teachers. I've seen his protege. I've seen the Tom Brady like. That's where he gets the legendary at. That's where he gets the saying he goes into Brady mode. Do you remember the game in Colorado where they was on the 2-yard line and he had to go 98 yards in 1 minute and 12 seconds and he marched all the way down the field to score? What did he say before he did that? After the game, he said he went in the huddle and he said it's Brady mode. He went into Brady mode.
Right. Well, so I have a quick story for you. I had a high-level – I put a lot of kids into college, quite a few of them turned pro. We had them in a 7-on-7 probably about, I don't know, maybe about 6 years ago. And he ended up being the difference, man. We should have beat him, but, man, his precision, they ended up beating us on the last play because this dude, it was just his calmness and his leadership, you know, as if he had been in that situation, or better yet, worse situations. And there was a lot of pressure on. You know, we were going to knock him off. But like I said, he was actually the difference in that 7-on-7 game. Now, I know that isn't football, but character carries over. People think that you can go out there and develop a star. No, you can develop a game manager, but after you get done developing, his natural ability and heart will make him a star. And that's something that I believe after 35 years of coaching.
Exactly.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. And and like I said, I don't know if you've been around when I talked about this. And when you talked about you can't teach it, you can't teach the calm, the coolness, and the persona that he has, and the pressure. A lot of people said, now you're putting a lot of pressure on Shedeur. I don't think the pressure bothers
you. You said
Shedeur.
that the other day, and I jumped off my couch, man.
Yeah.
I started yelling at the TV, and White told me, well, you need to call in and quit yelling at the TV.
Yeah, I don't think the pressure affects Shedeur, because if you go back, everybody remembers this, watching the Beller game last year in the rain, because the narrative is out there that Dillon Gabriel can't play in the rain. They want to hand the ball off, and they won't let him throw the ball to try to protect him, right? We saw in that Beller game, when the game was in his weigh-in seconds, and Colorado needed to score to send that game into overtime because they was predicted to beat Baylor. What did Shedeur Sanders do? Last play of the game, rolls out left, throws back against his body in the rain, and throws a dart to LaJohntay Wester for the game-tying touchdown. And that goes to show that he has poise. You know, he don't believe in that pressure.
Right, right. Yeah, some people shrink in the lights and others get bigger in the lights. And I do believe he's the person that gets bigger in the light.
He's calm under fire. He's calm under fire.
Okay, well, man, I just want to, put that point out there because a lot of people really don't know how long he's been groomed for this. And that's why I believe there's such an uproar.
I think, look, I think everybody that has really followed Shedeur, they know Shedeur is built from a different cloth. That's why his daddy gave him the name Grown, because he's out there doing grown man things. But great call. Appreciate you calling in. Got another caller calling in. Appreciate the insight.
Do your thing.
All right. You're on the line with K7 SBD. Who we got?
Hey man, how you doing?
What's going on?
This is D from Arkansas. I want to let you know, one, I'm a fan of your show.
Appreciate you.
And two, it looked like a sham job. It really looked like they're trying to tank the season so they can get better choices. Because they know, I know, anybody a blind man can see that Dillard he wasn't that good in college. Why is he playing professional quarterback with a team that he's one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen, and I'm 52 years old. He's the worst thing I've ever seen. And I've seen some bad quarterbacks over the years, but it's just ridiculous. They don't want to give the young man a chance, which is Shedeur. They don't want to even try to win. I think they're just trying to tank the season, personally.
Well, I mean, I respect your opinion. I mean, everybody has a different opinion in this situation, and your opinion is valid. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a different perspective on what they're seeing and what is going on. But I've always said, like, what don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. And a lot of people say this 30, if they do a 30 for 30 special, it's going to be legendary. And it'll all come out in them stories on what Cleveland Browns was thinking this whole 2025 season.
But I say also, look at God. Didn't the guy that said Shedeur wasn't organized just got fired from the New York?
Yeah, Brian Daboll. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it goes back to what I say. What don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse, because you got to go back. Brian Daboll was the one that started the narrative about Shedeur Sanders interviewing processes.
Yes, he was. And now he's unemployed. And so my thing is that I love the young man's patience. It shows the poise and it shows the control. He's not losing control. He's still being himself. He's still upbeat, having the time of his life.
Yeah, having a good time.
Having the time of his life, because it's going to come to a point that the way Dillon Gabriel, I'm being honest, the way he played, he's going to end up getting hurt. If it's not, I said before Christmas is done, he's going to end up getting hurt because he's a reckless player. He doesn't play well. And you can is it me? And I'm gonna ask your opinion. Is it me? But if that pocket starts close, he get nervous in a horn.
Oh yeah, he happy feet.
He happy feet, and he's nervous because he know he's small. And one of them big boys gonna get a hold of him one time and hurt him.
See, the problem is when that pocket collapse and them big linemen are staring in his face, he can't see.
He can't see over him.
He can't, and
No,
he can't
see over him.
If put it this way, if Dillon can't get outside the pocket, he's not effective. Anything that he tries to step up into the pocket, he is no good. Dillon has to be on the scramble to attempt to make a pass. Everything has to be hike and has to go scramble to the strong side of the field where he's throwing to the left side.
See, and the thing about it is, I'm gonna give you a player who was like that, who wasn't good in the pocket, but he scrambled, but he had the arm strength to do that. I don't know if you old as I am, but you remember the Bears, Jim McMahon?
I'm older than you.
Jim McMahon was like that. Huh?
Yes, I'm older than you.
Jim McMahon was Jim McMahon was like that. Jim McMahon he wasn't good in the pocket, but when he scrambled out, he had the arm power to do what he needed.
But what's
to do.
the difference
And
in Jim McMahon? How tall was Jim McMahon?
Oh, Jim McMahon was like 6'3", I believe.
There you go.
6'2",
That's the
6'3",
difference.
and also Jim McMahon could take a hit.
Exactly. But the thing about Dillon Gabriel, his feet are so happy, he don't go through his progressions. It's quick to check down. So that's why you see some of the errant throws that Dillon Gabriel throws, because if you go back and look, and then I'll let you go, but if you go back and look to the play yesterday when it was supposed to be a rollout and throw back to the wide receiver, where did he throw that ball at? Because he had people on the outside bearing down on him, and he just turned around and threw it.
And he just threw it out there.
And even on the touchdown, it was a touchdown. I can't knock him for not throwing the touchdown. But you threw a 25-yard pass, which
wobbly,
barely got to Judy, and Judy had to win the route to come back to get the ball. So it is what it is. But
I'm gonna be 100 with you. He didn't throw that touchdown. Judy caught that ball, because that ball was a dead duck.
Judy had to win the route, and he won the route. So hey, it is what it is, man. But great call, man. Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate the support.
Thank you, man.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, another great call, man. But look, man, check this out, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that was in the chat tonight, man. Appreciate all the love and support. Appreciate all the callers, man. Appreciate all my mods that was in the channel. Appreciate everybody that was in the chat. Appreciate the love and support. But look, we got to get up out of here, man. We're gonna be back tomorrow, same time, 6:45. For the people that don't got their notifications on, the people that haven't subscribe to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you join the channel. I appreciate everybody's love and support. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Also, if you haven't became a member, man, come on, man. Hit that member channel, man. Hit become a member, man. Become a member. Come on, man. It don't hurt to become a member, man. We trying to do great things over here, man. We trying to be one of them channels that's known as giving y'all the facts, man. Giving y'all the meats with the potatoes. I keep receipts, man. Like I said, we engage with the chat. We talk to y'all guys. You know what I'm saying? We let y'all call in to be a part of the show. But appreciate all the mods for doing what y'all doing. Appreciate all the members that I do have. Appreciate all the mods that I have that keep everything funky, Cole Medina, and keep everything factual. But look, we got to get up out of here, man. And you know what I say? This is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.